Our guest speaker is a well-known community leader in Port Barre. He has spent 24 years in law enforcement, almost 15 of those years as Chief of Police in Port Barre. He is a Port Barre High alumnus. Both his grandfathers, a brother, several uncles, and cousins have served in branches of the U.S. military, some of which have served during wartime. He, a patriot, a supporter of the U.S. military, father of a U.S. airman, Ethan Boudreaux, who is also a PBHS alumnus and currently serving in the United States Air Force. Please help us welcome Chief Dion Boudreaux.
They only give me 30 minutes to speak. I hope that's not too short. Give me a second, please. I gotta give myself a timer. If I don't, I will be here a long time. First off, good morning. Thank you for just allowing me to be here to join with you in celebrating and honoring our veterans today. Thank you so much. Our past and present veterans as well. And like many of you here, raise your hand if you got a veteran in your family, if you know a veteran. So most of you here, almost everyone here raised their hand. And like you, I also have veterans in my family, in my circle of friends, and the people I work with, and being in a paramilitary organization, a lot of those guys that patrol our streets are former military. And like she said, both my grandfathers served in the military. One of my grandfathers served in the Army in World War II. My other grandfather served in the Korean War, Korean conflict, in the Navy. And I have an uncle that fought in Vietnam. And listening to those stories and what they say, it makes you appreciate you guys even more. And my brother, twin brother, served 12 years in the United States Army active duty. He's got 5 combat tours. And I have many cousins, relatives that have served in different branches of the military, some currently serving, and also my son who just graduated a couple of years ago, Ethan, who's now an airman in the United States Air Force. But before we get into the topic at hand, I just want to say, although I was not in the military, being a household with only 2 sons, my brother went off to the Army, and I went off to the workforce to help mama pay bills. And I joined the police force, been there 24 years doing that. And he served our country, and I'm very proud of him and all those before him in our family and my friends that have served. But I recommend and encourage you, as students here, it won't be much longer, you will be graduating high school. And if college is not in your to-do list, like mine wasn't, if you don't know what you want to do in your career in life, I encourage you to join a military branch. Join the Army, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Navy, the Marine Corps. Join that because there's benefits to that. They can guide you. They can mold you into the human being that you need to be, the patriot that you need to be. They can educate you. It's free college, by the way. If you can't pay for college, the military pays for that. And they'll give you a skill set that you can bring forth with you the rest of your life. I know a lot of people that are successful in life because of their time in the military. They learned the trade and now are businessmen and have really been successful. So think about that as you graduate high school this year, and some of you in the next few years or so. But today we need to think about, what does the term veteran mean? What does it really mean? And when I say these things, you guys are going to know what I'm talking about because you've been through it, you lived it. And being in a family full of military, I know a lot about it from hearing what they told me. And so we need to think about what it means to be a veteran, and why do we recognize this day, Veterans Day, and why is our military so important to us? So a veteran is someone that has served our country or is currently serving our country in a branch of our nation's military. A veteran is a person at a young age that left their homes and families, left their normal lives for a short period of time, or some even made a career out of it, but also gave up some of their freedoms for that period of time they signed up for. And then they were shipped off to a military facility, training facility, and endured a very hard boot camp who challenged them mentally and physically. And when those 8 weeks were up, they were shipped off somewhere else for another 4+ months of either AIT or tech school training. That way the military can teach them and train them in the trade and the job that was going to be given to them. And once that's over with, then they were assigned somewhere else away from home to perform those duties. So we celebrate the veterans today to show respect and appreciation and to honor those men and those women, our veterans, for their courage and for your commitment to defend and protect our freedoms and our democracy. The importance of our military. Without the military, we would not be here today. We would not have the freedoms that we have today. If we look at countries across this world, if you pay attention to the TV, the news, there are countries that do not have the freedoms that we have. There are countries that are being invaded by other countries and being taken over. Matter of fact, the newest conflict that we recognize on TV now is the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And if you think about Ukraine and Russia, those are civilized countries just like the United States. They dress like us, they look like us, they go to school, they go to work, they watch TV, they have PlayStations, they have everything that we have. They speak a different language, but they're the same people. And their homes in Ukraine are being invaded. They live in fear because someone came into their country's borders and started shooting and bombing their homes. They are afraid to walk their own streets because there's military tanks from another country driving down their roads. But what I can say in America is that I'm glad and I'm happy and grateful that we live in the United States of America, which, by the way, is the greatest country on earth. And you may not know this, but our military, our United States military, is the most powerful military on this earth by far. We are so far superior than anyone else. That's why we are safe today. I put this, just keep this in mind, that we are a free nation. We're free. And I know sometimes we don't think we have freedom, but look around you, we do. And the freedom that we have is because of the sacrifices that are made by our veterans. We don't have to worry about foreign soldiers walking our streets. We can go to bed each night knowing that the next morning that red, white, and blue flag is still be waving in the wind and we'll not be saluting someone else's flag. We can live in confidence and in peace knowing every day the luxuries that we have of freedom that many people across the world do not have, that is safe and protected because of our veterans. So I'll close with this. We owe all of you, our veterans, we owe you. And we thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be here today. And I just want to say this, please give a huge round of applause to the real heroes in this room today.